guys, we're back, and today we're going to make some zucchini bread. Alright, family recipe of ours. It might be similar to yours. There's always going to be a little adaptations and additions and subtractions as far as that goes. So what I usually do first is I go ahead and get my zucchini prepared. I do go ahead and peel my zucchini, so that way it's ready to go. Take all the skins off as far as like that. Then we'll go ahead and grate this down into very fine pieces so that way it can go into the bread. And just like that, they're peeled. Let's get them chopped and grated. Okay, now guys, this is an optional ingredient, walnuts. I personally am not a fan of walnuts in my breads, muffins, things like that, but my wife and my mother-in-law are. So the recipe calls for 1 cup of chopped walnuts, if that's what you want to put into your zucchini bread. This recipe makes 2 loaves. I am only going to be putting in 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts, and it's only going to be in their loaf. So, as far as chopped walnuts go, you can either buy chopped walnuts, or it's pretty simple. You just go ahead and get a knife, get some walnuts, and then you just start chopping, just moving your knife back and forth. Alright. I'll go ahead and get these chopped up, put in the measuring cup, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, and there's our 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these back in the bag because they are kind of spendy. Actually, let's put them in a slip-flop bag. Alright, I'll get these packaged up, and we'll be back. Alright, guys, it's time to go ahead and get started mixing our dry and our wet ingredients. Okay, we're going to start off with our dry ingredients. We've got 3 cups of flour. There's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go in now with 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Got our sugar here. Sorry, I thought I already had this one out, of course. Alright, 1/4 cup, we're going to do 3 times. One, 2, and 3. Alright, up next this is where you would put in your chopped walnuts if you like walnuts. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the mix completely prepared, all combined. Then after I pour my bread loaf, or my zucchini bread loaf, then that's when I'll mix in their walnuts and go ahead and pour their loaf of zucchini bread. So let's go ahead and go on to 4½ teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, double acting baking powder is usually what I use. So we're going to go with 4½. These are teaspoons, not tablespoons. Tablespoons are bigger. You can see the difference. 1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon. So we're going to go in with 4½ teaspoons of the baking soda. A little side up there helps you scrape it off. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. Alright, Now what we got up next is our baking, I think I was calling this baking soda the whole time, I apologize. This is baking powder. Baking soda is up next, I apologize. We're going to go in with 1/2 teaspoon of the baking soda. So I'm going to wipe this out real quick. I don't like to cross-contaminate all my sodas and powders and everything else like that. Alright. So 1/2 of the baking soda. There we go. And 1/2 teaspoon, not tablespoon, teaspoon of the baking soda. Alright, up next, what we've got is 1 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to be pouring the salt out of the container into the 1 teaspoon, so I want to make sure, so I won't have to clean it off. Okay, 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay. Up next, what we've got is we've got our cinnamon and nutmeg. I usually do 1/2 teaspoon of the cinnamon and 1/2 teaspoon of the nutmeg. So let's go ahead and go with the cinnamon first. And this is just a taste, guys. This is one of those optional components, but I really prefer the flavor that I get from the cinnamon and the nutmeg together. 1/2 of the cinnamon, and let's go in with some nutmeg. Half of the nutmeg. Okay. So now we're ready to go ahead and start our wet ingredient. Unfortunately, once again, my camera quit rolling. And I just found that out. I apologize, guys. I probably will have to remake this video. I'm not sure how long ago it was, but I'm going to go ahead and push forward on finishing this zucchini bread. Let's get the rest in here, because my wife has been waiting for some zucchini bread. And of course she went ahead and told her mother-in-law, I'm sorry, my mother-in-law, and she said, "Ooh, I'll take mine with walnuts." My wife said, "Ooh, me too." So let's go ahead and get this spoon out of here, or spatula, and we'll go ahead and get a stiffer spoon to mix around. Mix with here. I want to get this all mixed together. It's going to be a very wet mixture. Okay, let's go ahead and grease up our bowl, our pans. And we'll get my loaf in there. And then my wife's. I'll add in the walnuts. I got two 9x5 pans. Take a little bit of butter. Use the end I didn't use on the mixing, and like I said, I just put it in my hands and just kind of wipe it around. The reason I use butter, like I said, the loaves just seem to fall out. And it makes it real nice. And I grease all the way up to the top, just so that way it's not going to rise that high, but that way I don't run the risk of ever having an issue with them sticking if I get some on the sides or something like that and don't get it cleaned off. So, if I had to estimate, I'd say about 2 tablespoons of butter is going to do well in both, for both pans, maybe a tablespoon per. Okay, as you see, 2 buttered pans. Red stuff here. Now we'll go ahead and pour my loaf. And there's really no exact measurements to the way I do this. I just kind of get some in there, scrape it off. I usually look for about, if you had to guesstimate, about 1.5 inches or so, maybe a little bit more in the bottom of the pan. There we go, there's that one. Now, let's go ahead and mix in our 1/2 cup chopped walnuts. Okay guys, we're back. We've got them out of the oven. We've let them cool down for 10 minutes. Right now they're just barely warm to the touch. So what we're going to do is I have gone to a 2-camera recording system now. So that way I don't end up losing any footage, at least hopefully. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get these turned out onto, and I just usually put them on a paper towel because what I'll do is I'll let them dry on there just a little bit and then move to a cutting board to go ahead and slice up one of them. And then, you know, usually when I make 2 loaves, I usually make 2 of the same kind. That way I go ahead and slice, so that way we can eat one loaf. The other loaf we usually wrap up in saran wrap, plastic wrap, cling wrap, whichever you want to call it, and go ahead and just throw it in the freezer. So, as you can see, with buttering those pans like that, it really just literally just falls right out of the pans. And the reason why we butter it all the way up is because sometimes you'll get a little slop on there and it just pops right out. So what we're going to do now, I'm sorry I did this one wrong. What I usually like to do now is I like to go ahead and turn them over like this and let them dry for just a little bit in the ambient air because there is just a little bit of moisture left down in here in the pan. So what I like to do is just kind of turn them over like this and I'll let them dry. I'm going to cover them up with another couple paper towels real quick like, and then we'll come back and we'll get them sliced. Okay, we're back with our double camera system now. Alright, and as I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's just a little bit of moisture right on the top there. And that's the reason, like I said, that's the reason why I just put a paper towel over there just to let it set. And it's usually about 5 minutes or so. And we'll turn these over. Turn down to nice loaves. So let's go ahead and get them cut up. And then we'll have ourselves a taste test. There we go. My wife's not up here, so I just have to have a taste test without her. So, let's go ahead and just slice into these and just see what they look like here. Okay. Real nice, airy on the inside there. Sweetheart, you're just in time. You ready for a taste of the zucchini bread?
Oh, yeah.
That one's mine. Let's get hers over here. Tell me what you think.
Okay. Looks amazing.
Oh, of course. Okay. And in here you can see the little walnuts scattered throughout there. Like a little butter, sweetheart?
Yes, please.
Alright. So we'll spread on just a little bit of butter there. Still warm, it's already melting. Alright, give it a shot, see what you think. Now I'm going to go ahead and have myself a slice.
Oh my god, it's good.
I didn't get the OMFG like I did last time. I'm just kidding.
OMFG?
I'm just kidding. Alright, so this is what we got, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, great. Let me know.